Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to another edition of the CyberCoach Internet Catapult inside the Make Money Masterclass series in the MasterCoach Council. Today, we're going to cover how to make money as an online coach, even if you're an internet dummy. Even if you're an internet dummy. Now, first of all, I want you to meet the dummy. Now, I hate to call myself a dummy, but in this way I think it's actually helpful because I want to just admit something, which is that when it comes to the internet, I'm not really that sharp. I'm not really technically minded. I'm very much more interested in other things other than spending all day trying to work out the technology of the internet. I do understand people, and I'm decent on the sales side, but I've never been a really amazing genius marketer either. And it's not because necessarily I can't really do business on the internet and I don't know what I'm doing, or even that I couldn't be kind of a genius level internet marketer. It's just that's not what I'm interested in. I don't want to spend my life online. And so when I say kind of the alleged dummy, as it says here, I don't really mean I'm dumb. And the question you probably are going to ask then is, then what is an internet dummy specifically? We're not talking about a dummy here. We're talking about an internet dummy. What is the definition there? Well, I'll give you some ideas. First of all, usually an internet dummy is a genius in another area. They're really good at something. They understand an area, like for instance, for me, it's coaching and coaching technology. For you, it might be weight loss or health or making money, or some other area, right? So your chances are you're a genius in another area if you're an internet dummy, actually. So in a way, it's a good thing. Second, you're probably just not interested in e-commerce, or you're just unfamiliar with it. It's not that you couldn't be interested in it. A lot of times when somebody says, well, I'm not interested in marketing on the internet, I don't want to do that internet marketing stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. I just don't want to do that. It doesn't mean that they're not interested. Many times it just means that they don't really get it, or they don't understand how it really works, or it's kind of just foreign to them and they just haven't made any money on the internet, so they don't have an interest yet in doing any kind of e-commerce. Many times an internet dummy is somebody who's more people-oriented. They're not into computers, they're into people. Or they want to avoid sitting at the computer all day. I mean, this is basically me in a lot of ways. Or they know they need to do business on the internet, they know they need to get into the e-commerce side of things, but they're procrastinating. They're just putting it off. They're saying, well, I'm not ready yet. At some point in the future I'm going to be ready. Maybe next year, maybe next month. It's something like that. They're procrastinating. So what is an online coach? If we talked about the one side of it, the internet dummy side, the person that's not doing business on the internet, or the coach that's not doing business on the internet, what is an online coach then? What is somebody who has gotten through the internet dummy phase? Well, an online coach is a coach that just uses the internet rather than lives on the internet. They don't live there, they just use it. They're using it as a tool. A coach that gets leads from an online source. And what I mean by that is that they're not necessarily always doing business on the internet. They might just be using the internet to help generate more interest in what they do, to help get more people to talk to, literally. Or a coach that just gives more to their clients by using the internet. In other words, they're able to actually add more value to their clients. They're able to coach them better. They're able to make a bigger difference in their lives in so many more ways. How? Just because they're using the internet as a tool for delivery of really great, valuable stuff. So why bother? Now that we talk about what an online coach is, why bother being an online coach? Well, first, you can communicate with more people in deeper ways using the internet to dialogue. A lot of coaches don't get this. They're thinking, well, the internet's like a big megaphone. I don't want to just talk at people. I don't want to just broadcast information out there. I'm a coach. I'm all about dialogue. I'm all about having an inquiry. I'm all about Socratic questioning and Socratic talking and dialogue. I mean, I want to connect with people, not disconnect myself from them. And there's so much talk in this day and age about how the internet is disconnecting us, how it's totally disconnected. Well, the fact is, it's not. The reason why you want to actually be an online coach is because you can actually increase your communication. You can increase the value of the communication, and you can literally create a dialogue with people. You can make it a two-way street on the internet now. Now, by the way, to be fair, a couple years ago, this wasn't the case. 2-3 years ago, there wasn't as much dialogue happening. There wasn't as much connection happening on the internet. Well, all that's changed, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about how. Another reason is the coaching business is hard enough without schlepping around town or on the phone chasing customers. Because if you're not working on the internet, chances are that's what you're doing. You're going to the Chamber of Commerce mixer and you're pressing the palms, you're shaking hands with everybody, you're chasing people down on the phone. You're being proactive. There's nothing wrong with proactivity. It's just that if that's your entire life is chasing after people, trying to convince them that what you got is valuable, that's hard. Or let's put it this way, it makes the coaching business even harder. The coaching business is a hard business. I mean, you got to really step up and take care of people in a lot of really advanced ways. You got to have some skills. So if you're going to have challenges from a coaching level anyway, you don't want to make the business part challenging either. Let's try to make it as easy as possible on ourselves as coaches. And finally, the internet is the ultimate low overhead way to market and deliver value to your clients. It is low overhead. What do I mean by low overhead? I mean it's cheap. It just doesn't cost much money. And with the way the economy is shifting, anything that costs serious dough nowadays is something to avoid. Anything that is really cheap and easy to scale your business up without having to pour a bunch of cash into it, that's the kind of opportunity I want to look for and I want to find. And the internet is that opportunity. The internet makes everything that you do in terms of communicating, marketing, selling, and coaching your clients cheaper, easier, and to be able to deliver more to more people in more ways without adding expenses than you ever dreamed possible. That's why to be an online coach. So I hope I convinced you a little bit that if you're not online, you need to get online. And I'm going to share the 3 keys to making money as an online coach. First key is get more customers. I'm going to show you how to do that. This is a key. You got to have more customers online, or else you probably are not going to make money online. You have to have more people that you're working with. Second is you got to make more money per sale. You got to be able to make sure that, okay, if I got more customers now, every time they buy, they're actually spending more with me. That'll help you make more money or make money as an online coach. And then finally, you got to get each customer to buy more often. If they are spending more per sale and you got more customers, that's great. Now you're going to increase your income and make more money as an online coach right there. But if you really want to make money as an online coach, you got to get your customers to come back for more time and time again. I'm going to show you how to do that during this conversation. So let's talk first about getting more customers online, as it says here. I like how slow that kind of goes on. It's like online, kind of slow motion. Anyway, okay, let's continue. So how to get more customers online specifically. So there's 3 keys to getting more customers online. The first one is increase traffic. Now, what is traffic? Traffic is simply the number of people that find your site and end up going to your site today. That metric, or that number of people, that's the amount of traffic that zooms through your site on a daily basis. You got to increase traffic. You got to increase the number of people that hit your site. Second, once you got that traffic, you got to increase what we call conversion. Converting people that show up on your site to something. Getting them to convert from a viewer to somebody who's a subscriber, from a subscriber to somebody who's a buyer who bought your product. So there's got to be some conversion. There's got to be converts, so to speak. You got to take people from interested to committed, from committed to obsessed, from obsessed to spending all their money on your stuff, basically. Let's put it that way. So you got to increase conversion. And the third key to get more customers online is increase the frequency of offers. and what I call ABC. We'll get to the ABC in a second. So increase the frequency of offers, and that means you increasing how frequently you offer stuff to your customers. Now we're going to start, as you see, it's a little bit bolded here, with increased traffic. We're going to talk a little bit about what it takes or how to increase traffic. So number one is just banner ads. You can create banner ads nowadays very easily for almost no money, or just a little bit of time with you designing a banner ad, and submit a banner ad to a particular site, spend a little bit of money for the banner ad or for the number of hits you get from the banner ad, and wham, you got more traffic to your site. It's just that simple. I mean, it's super scalable nowadays. So don't be afraid of banner ads. Keep it simple. Offer something for free on your banner ad, so when they click the banner ad, they're going to expect like a free report or free video or something like that, and it makes it really palatable if you're advertising on the right site. You don't want to have your banner ad just have your slogan or your face or your logo or something like that. This is not about you. This is about what your customer is going to get. If you offer something really cool that your customer would just be hot loving to get, I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but anyway, you get my point, that they're really hot for whatever it is that you're going to offer them in that banner ad. They're going to click on that ad. They're going to end up on your site. You can concentrate on conversion later on down the road. Second way to increase traffic is direct mail. If you've got a direct mail list, go ahead and send them a postcard that sends them to your site, or buy a mailing list. You can do this via InfoUSA or Sales Genie. There's lots of list brokers out there that give you lists of direct mail people in a particular geographic area or a particular demographic, whatever, and you can just rent the list and send a postcard out to these guys, and guess what? They're going to end up on your site as a result of that. Same type of offer too. You can offer them the 7 free ways to lose weight with a free weight loss coaching session recording or something, and then they play the recording and they end up getting a free session with you, and wham, they become your client. I mean, that's how simple it really is. Does it take a little time to put this together? Of course it does. You got to lay out the little postcard and stuff like that. Got to work out the technical side of this. It takes maybe a day to do that, but in a day, all of a sudden now you got leads coming to you getting your coaching. The third way to increase traffic is what we call CPM email drops. Now, what this really means is basically, it's just like renting or buying a list of direct mail subscribers, except now this is email subscribers. So there are people out there that subscribe to email lists that are the types of people that probably are going to be interested in your offer. So you find list brokers, or you can do a little Google search on CPM email drop, and you're going to find people that will actually sell their email list to you. And what I really mean by that is that they're going to sell for every 1,000 emails that they send out to offer your stuff to their subscribers, they're probably going to charge you a couple $100 or something like that. So a really great deal if your offer is really substantial and it's going to get people to come to your site. So that will increase traffic to your site. CPA networks. Now, CPA stands for cost per action. Cost per action versus CPM, which is really cost per M, which is just a Roman numeral for 1,000, cost per 1,000. So you pay per 1,000 many times when you're 1,000 impressions or 1,000 views when you're paying for advertising. Well, CPA is just so much better because it's cost per action. You're actually paying for an action that somebody takes in order to get your stuff. So let's say you have an offer, and let's say you created 7 really cool videos on how to lose weight fast. And it's like a video series, and you're giving it away for free, but you go to a CPA network. You can do a Google search and find CPA networks, and the CPA network will actually sell that free offer that you've got, and maybe they sell it for $1 or $5 or whatever, and you tell them, hey, I'm going to pay you $5 for every time somebody takes you guys up on your $1 offer. Well, and then they get like 100 people to take you up on the offer. That's what, $500, right? But now you got 100 people that have already bought your stuff. Now you haven't made any money, you've spent money, but you've already got buyers. You've got 100 buyers that know who you are and are watching your videos and paid for it. Now you could probably upsell like 10 of those people to your DVD program or your coaching session or whatever, and then you make money on the back end. You should be able to make that $500 back pretty quickly when you get into a CPA network. So you pay for the leads, but you make money on the back end by selling something else. You can also blog daily using good search engine optimization, or SEO for short. If you do a blog article every day, this takes maximum an hour a day. I can get it down to maybe about 30 minutes of sweat equity per day. There's no cost to it once you get your blog up, and do good SEO, good search engine optimization of that blog post. You're going to get traffic. And you'll get more and more traffic as you continue to add articles to your blog. So for instance, our blog, coachestrainingblog.com/become a coach, if you go to that, it'll give you a good example of what a good SEO blog looks like. And in fact, if you go, many blogs are search engine optimized nowadays because they're set up for that. But we've been doing ours for about 6 months now, I think. Again, you can go to coachestrainingblog.com/become a coach, and you'll see our blog where we just post articles. And we post a new article every day, and after 6 months, we get like 100 hits a day minimum on that blog. So 100 people look at our stuff and are exposed to our offers. So we get conversion from that at this point. So it takes a couple months to get started, but after a while, for free, you get traffic to your blog. Pretty good deal. Also, you could use Google AdWords. Now, Google, yes, you do need to pay for this, but you can, start at like $50 a month, so it's pretty cheap, and you get traffic guaranteed to come to your site no matter what. Then beyond that, you can also use social media. Nowadays, social media can be a very important part of your mix of how you increase traffic to your site. What I would suggest, if you're going to use social media, have a blog as well. Have a blog and have those two hooked up together. So use social media to send traffic to your blog and then convert the traffic from there. Don't try to sell on your social media, or else people are a little turned off by that. So I'm going to give you the dummy favorites. These are my favorites, me being the dummy in this scenario. Social media, blogging, and Google AdWords. Those are my 3 favorites. Social media and blogging primarily because they're pretty cheap. They're basically free once you get things set up, and getting things set up can be free as well. I actually pay people to write articles on my blog at times because I don't necessarily have an hour every day or a half hour every day to do that because I'm creating so much of these cool videos basically. But what I have is I've got people that watch my videos and actually write articles based upon what I talk about, and they basically are transcribing me, and I pay them to get those posted on our blog. So there's so many really cool ways that you can do the blogging part. But if you want to go ahead and put your own time in, if you've got time but you don't have money, do the blogging, because that's a great dummy favorite. Social media, of course, as well, because it's primarily free. It's kind of intuitive, pretty user-friendly. And then finally, Google AdWords. It's really one of my favorites because, again, it's guaranteed. You absolutely get traffic from Google no matter what. So here's some quick keys to, first of all, social media. Let's start with social media. So use ping.fm to send every post notification. And what I mean by post notification is like little posts that you make, little tweets or little Facebook updates. And using Ping, you can send everything that you do when you're posting something to LinkedIn, Facebook, FriendFeed, Blogger, like a Blogger blog that you would start, and Twitter. Now that means every time you say something on ping.fm, that all of these areas will be updated. That means you're getting exposure to 5 different places from one post, from one little ping, one little tweet that you would make. Now, by the way, ping.fm also has like 20 other places you can post to. So if you really want to get serious on this, every time you post something, you will get tremendous exposure. So Ping FM is a great leverage vehicle for that. Also post videos on YouTube and then embed them in your blog. So you can have videos on your blog. That really helps. I won't get into the details on why, but the longer people spend on your blog, the more Google likes you because they think people like your blog because they're hanging out on your blog. How do you get people to stick around in your blog? Don't just have written stuff, have a video. People love to watch videos. So post a video on YouTube, embed it in your blog. And also, if you do good SEO with the keywords that you're using on your YouTube video, then your YouTube video will also get traffic. Do special links from your Facebook account to your blog. So Facebook has a way of posting with a little thumbnail picture. So if you do a blog post and you have a picture in that post, which you should do, you should have a little photo or a picture on every single post. You can get those from Flickr, flikr.com, and you can go to Creative Commons. You can get free, photos that or just photos of everything, basically graphics of everything that that are searchable on Flickr. You stick that into your blog post every single day, and then Facebook, you can post that to all your Facebook followers, and they'll see a little picture, and that makes the article that you've written a little bit more seductive, because when people see a picture, they're like, ooh, that's a cool picture. I wonder what that's about, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, of course, right? But if they just see words, then they're like, that looks kind of boring. I think I'll move on. So don't let that happen to you. Post those special links from Facebook account to your blog, get a big Facebook following, and then people are going to love those little pictures. They'll hit your blog as a result. Send people that hit your blog from SEO to your Facebook and Twitter accounts to follow you, and then keep updating them. Now, what does this mean? This basically means that if you go to my Become a Coach blog, again, coachestrainingblog.com/become a coach, you'll notice that right at the top right, you'll see that I'll have a little Facebook icon, a little LinkedIn icon, a little Twitter icon. Some people, when they hit my blog, they don't want to just opt in and subscribe. They don't want to give me their email quite yet. So I don't expect everybody to do that, but everybody's willing to follow you on Twitter and be a friend with you on Facebook and stuff like that. So that makes it a little bit easier. It's a cooler way, or a lower commitment, lower risk way, lower perceived risk way at least, for the people that hit my blog from just Googling me or searching on Google and then hitting randomly, to hook up with me in some way. And then I just keep updating them on Facebook and Twitter, and guess what? They're going to come back to my blog from time to time. They're going to see what's going on. So it's a great way to keep people coming back and drip, 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 drip different articles on them from your blog. So here are some quick keys, speaking of blogging, to blogging. So now we talked about social media. Now we're getting into the blog a little bit. First of all, blog daily. You got to do it. You got to blog daily. Just no other way around it. For the first year, every single day, do 365 blog posts in the first year, and then you can start blogging every other day. Okay? Okay, good. Next one is keyword choice. You got to go to different places that will help you understand what keywords your prospects are basically searching on, and then got to choose the right keywords, or else you're out on your duff. You won't get any traffic from your blog. Also, keyword placement. What that means is getting the keywords into your post in the right place. You got to get them into the title. You got to get them into the body of your post. You got to bold them. You got to create links. I'll get into the links in a second, but you got to get those keywords into your post. So find good keywords. You can find them on the Google keyword tool. There's a keyword tool called Word Tracker. There's all sorts of places where you can find keywords. So find the keywords, then get them into your blog posts. Content quality. This is king. If you got really awesome quality and you're just so-so on the keywords, you're going to have an awesome amount of traffic coming to that post. If you're really great with the keywords but you're lousy with the quality, you're not going to get any traffic, because Google can figure that out. Also, use Google Analytics, because if you give Google a chance to kind of analyze what's going on in your site, they're going to make better friends with you. It's mainly to please Google, but it also gives you a sense of what people are sticking to on your site, what people like, what people don't like. Use WordPress and get plugins. So just go to WordPress.com, get a WordPress blog, install it in your own domain, and then get particular plugins for WordPress that'll help you to get better search engine optimization and get a nicer blog overall. WordPress uses these little programs that you can find that are free for the most part, called plugins, and you plug them into WordPress. They're pretty easy to upload to your WordPress account, and suddenly WordPress is working a little differently because you got a little plugin. They're pretty user-friendly, and search around on WordPress plugins or best WordPress plugins, and just find what you can find on Google, and you're gonna find all sorts of really cool tools for your WordPress blog. Also, bookmarking. Use sites like digg.com, or use StumbleUpon, StumbleUpon.com, Delicious, and other social bookmarking sites to get more traffic and to bookmark what's on your site as well. When people find something they like on the internet, many of them bookmark it, and they bookmark it on these social bookmarking sites so they can share it with friends. If you share your bookmarks of your stuff with friends, then not only will Google find it, because Google spiders and searches around on these social bookmarking sites constantly, so they'll find you real quick, but in addition to that, other people will just show up on your blog just out of nowhere, out of those particular sites. Length, you want to do a 300 to 600 word post each day. At least 200 or 300 words. You got to do that. If it's more than 600 and it's quality, great. If it's more than 600 and you're just filling space, that's not great. So just keep it to 300 to 600 as a rule of thumb, unless there's really amazing stuff you got to include that is particular to that post. Social media, we just talked about it. You got to link that into your blog. It's so key to do that nowadays. And then finally, what we call inbound and internal links. So inbound links are just links from other people's blogs and other people's sites to your blog. That's really important to move up in the rankings in Google. Also, you want to use good internal links. So every blog post should link to another blog post on your site, and they should use keywords, because then Google understands, oh, well, he's linking from this one post to this other post, and he's using the words coaches training, so this other post must be about coaches training, because that link, that's what it says. So hopefully that makes sense, but you got to use good linking strategies in your blog. Finally, let's cover Google AdWords. Quick keys to Google AdWords. Research your competitors. You want to figure out what your competitors are doing. Go search on the terms that you think that people are searching on, see what your competitors are doing. Now, what you want to do is take one of their ads and just rework it. Copy it, rework the words, make it a little bit better. If there's an ad that's really high in Google, like a paid placement, then chances are, if they're spending money on that, then they're making money on it as well, and you want to use a good ad. So just start with what other people are doing. Get your AdWords account. You just go to Google and go to the advertising program section and sign up at an AdWords account. I think it's like $25 to sign up. Pick the keywords. They're going to help you with the keywords. Pretty user-friendly nowadays. And then set up your campaign and start getting hits on your site just by advertising. Don't forget to watch your ad performance carefully over the first few months, especially because if you got bad performing ads, Google's going to charge you more. If you got good performing ads, Google will charge you less. So you want to get your ads performing really well, and then your advertising is cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Pretty cool, huh? Google kind of pays you basically for good performing ads. So you got to test different ads and see what works better, see what gets better click-through rate, basically is what they call it, as a percentage of people that see your ad that actually click on it. And the more clicks you get, the cheaper your ads are. So we're going to move on from increasing traffic to now the next key to get more customers online, which is increase conversion. Once you got a lot of people hitting your site, you got to convert them. So what does that look like? Well, number one, you got to improve your copywriting. You got to write copy well and get some books on copywriting and learn how to write good ad copy, good marketing copy. Improve your order forms. If you've got order forms or you're trying to get people to order, people always screw up the order forms, and so you want to test on your copywriting. You want to test like headlines and offers, and your order form you want to make sure you're restating the offer and you've got a really nice looking order form that still looks extremely credible. You got to make sure you do that and have a good order form, because the problem with order forms is people do so much work just to get people to the order form, and then they're like, whoops, I screwed up the order form, or I made a crappy order form. Well, you can't do that. You can't lose them right at the very most important part. Next, stack bonuses, stack pressure, meaning when somebody's thinking about buying something, if you give them like 10 awesome bonuses that are worth even more than the stuff that they're thinking of buying, that's a lot of positive pressure to get them to buy. Also, you want to stack pressure, meaning that make it put a little pressure on people to actually make their decision. Don't just tell them, hey, it'll be around forever, don't worry about it, you don't have to buy now. Give them a sense that they need to take you up on your offer like immediately. Then add downsells or upsells. So if somebody says, if they're on your order form, they're like, no, I don't want it, and they start to click away, then you will maybe want to create a little pop-up that says, hey, if you don't like this, maybe you want that. Maybe you want something that's if they're not going to buy your $100 video program, maybe they'll be willing to buy your $50 ebook or something like that. Also, upsells. If they bought your $100 audio program, let's say, maybe then you sell them the $300 video program, right? So you get the idea, hopefully, with this. So bonuses, don't offer crappy bonuses. Make your bonuses really high perceived value. And then in terms of downsells and upsells, make offers that people just can't refuse in your downsells and upsells, and you will increase the conversion rate. Proactive selling. This is just, good old-fashioned salesmanship. I mean, it's not dead. And the really amazing internet marketers nowadays are, well, let's put it this way. They're not really the most amazing salespeople many times. And so if you're a decent salesperson and you add that to what you're doing online, your business is really going to thrive. So don't be afraid to do a little proactive calling and following up. Also, offer more for free. Give people some really cool stuff for free right up front so they get to know you and they get real comfortable with working with you. And then also offer them smaller bites. And more for free is part of smaller bites. Now, what do I mean by smaller bites? Well, let's put it this way. If you're going to give somebody an apple to eat, you wouldn't just shove the whole apple down their throat, right? You're going to give them a bite and then another bite and another bite. So same thing with your stuff. If your stuff, your coaching and all the stuff that you offer is an apple, so to speak, you don't shove the whole thing down their throat at once. You don't have them show up at your site and then say, get coaching. It's just like, this is the thing you should do now. You want to say, hey, watch this free video. And then here, read this free ebook. And then in the ebook and the video, it says, hey, you should really check this product out. And it brings them to a product page, and the product is only like $30, or it's only like $70, right? You give them something really cool that's relatively cheap. That's what we call a small bite. They got a little free thing. They took a small bite. Then they got a little $70 thing. That's another small bite. Once they buy the $70 thing, then you can offer them like a $700 thing. Or maybe that's too big a bite. Maybe you offer them a $300 thing. Right? So, and it could be different stuff, audio programs, video programs, books, coaching sessions, trainings, whatever. But give them small bites and let them kind of work their way up to spending some serious dough with you. And you're going to find a lot of new customers come down the road, and you're going to increase your conversion rate. Finally, find out what they want. I know it sounds like it should be like, duh, of course you want to know what they want. But so few people do that, especially coaches, because coaches get really into their stuff rather than getting into what their customer really wants. So what are the dummy favorites here of how to increase conversion? Well, finding out what they want, that's one of my huge favorites. The more you can find out what somebody wants, the better off you are. Also offering free stuff, and that's one of my huge favorites. And then finally, stacking pressure. So let's get into what some of this looks like. So how to find out what they want. Let's get into some details here. How do you do that? So first of all, just talk to them. Duh, right? I mean, just go talk to your prospects. Find out what they want. Ask them. Pretty simple. Dialogue online. This is the really cool thing. If you've got like 1,000 people on your email list nowadays, you can just, talk to people via email or have them go to your blog and give comments. You can discuss with groups on forums or Facebook or Twitter. Ask those kind of questions and find out what people are really thinking. It can be fun to find this stuff out. Survey. You can send out now with like SurveyMonkey. If you go to surveymonkey.com, create a free survey, email it out to your list, and wham, now you got like 20 or 30 people that are, commenting on all these different things that you want to know about what they want. Now, my suggestion for this is that don't just survey right up front. Don't just say, hey, take this survey, take 5 minutes of your life and just, help me, right? You only want to do a survey after you've already offered some basic value. So get a generic idea of what people want. And then once you've kind of worked that out and figured that out, give some of that to them. And then after you give it to them, to say, hey, would you be willing to take 5 minutes and fill out a survey so I can help you even more? You get the idea? So you got to prove to them that you're wanting to help them first before they're going to help you help them even more, right? They got to believe, hey, this person really wants to figure out what I want, so they can actually give it to me. Once people kind of connect the dots that this person's trying to help me, meaning you're trying to help your client, and they really know that, they will help you a lot. They'll be really excited about taking your surveys because they know the cool stuff that they're going to get after they do it. Coach them also. I mean, one of the great ways to find out what people really want is just coach them. Find out what their goals are. Do coaching sessions. Focus groups and trainings. If you're doing a training, you got a captive audience, ask them what they want. Make a discussion out of it. Make it into a focus group. Or just go ahead and get a focus group together on, let's say, on a conference line. Like get 5 or 10 people that are within your target market on a conference line or in a room somewhere in a geographic area, and just ask them all the questions you would normally survey them with. Focus group can be really great for getting more info in a deeper depth. Or deeper depth, I guess that's redundant. Anyway. Now, keys to giving away free stuff. If you're going to give away free stuff, what are some of the keys? First of all, give away your best stuff. Don't be stingy here. If you see a trailer to a movie, do they put all the boring parts of the movie in there to save the best stuff for when you actually pay for the movie? Of course not. They give the best scenes in that movie. Sometimes they overdo it, but you really want to find your best stuff and give some of that away in the free stuff you're giving away. Give them the what, not the how. So in other words, you're going to save some of the how for later, but you're giving them what to do, and then they're going to go and do some of it. They're going to do maybe well with some of it, but maybe not all of it is going to be perfect, and they're going to want to know the how-to on some of that, and so you can save that to maybe sell that part to them. Find the quick fixes and instant result tips. Don't give them the really deep stuff, even though you might be in love with the deep stuff because you're pretty advanced in your area of expertise. Remember, the people that are your clients are dummies in your area of expertise. That's what makes you the expert, is that everybody else is a dummy compared to you. So you got to kind of dumb things down a little bit and give the quick fixes, give the instant pudding style fixes when you're giving away free stuff. Give it to them in the highest valued form. If they value video more than anything else, give them a video. You got to do that because they're really gonna check your stuff out. Why do you think I do videos? It's not because it's so easy to do. It's because I know that chances are you're watching this thinking, this is really cool, this is really valuable. Versus if I put all this down in an ebook form or in a blog article, you'd never read that, would you? Well, would you? I don't know. Anyway, if you would, then you're better than many of the people that I first work with. And it's not even a better thing. It's just like when people are first thinking about, checking your stuff out, they don't want to waste time or energy kind of having to parse through all your stuff in a more of a bullet point reading form. They want to just watch a video. People want entertainment at first. So give it to them, spoon feed it to them in the highest valued form so they really want it. Focus on fears, frustrations, misconceptions, and shock/entertainment value. Now, what does that mean? That means if you know that your target market has particular fears, like overweight people, you're going to do weight loss coaching, and their fear is they'll never lose the weight. Give them a video on how to make sure that they absolutely will lose the weight and that they never have to worry about ever again thinking that it's possible that they'd never lose the weight. That's a little long-winded, but you get the idea. If there's a frustration that people that are overweight experience, like people laughing at them because they're I don't know, whatever people that are overweight have. I'm skinny, so that's not my problem, but you get the idea. Find out what those frustrations are and make a video about it, make a blog article about it, make an audio to help them alleviate themselves from that frustration. Misconceptions. Is there something that overweight people think that's just not true? Can you dispel that misconception for them? Will that give them a lot of value? If so, maybe make a video or an audio about that. And then also shock value, entertainment value. Anything that's super entertaining that your type of target market would also get real value from. Something entertaining and informative. So educating and entertaining, like 2 different E's basically that you're looking for on that. Or something shocking. Again, many misconceptions can be shocking if you dispel the myth, so to speak. So, don't be afraid to shock people a little bit. So here's some keys to stacking pressure. Moving on to this favorite dummy technique, time limits. That's an easy one. So for instance, if you're offering a product or a service or a free coaching session or whatever you're offering, put a time limit on it. Say, look, I've only got so many slots open this month, and I'm only going to offer these sessions for the next week. So if you want it, you got to make sure that you get in touch with me this week, or else I'm not going to be available anymore. So have a time limit on it. Also, limited supply or slots. So especially free coaching sessions, you always got to limit the number of free coaching sessions you're offering. It's just the name of the game. You say, look, I got 10 to offer in the next 3 months. Get them while they're hot. First come, first serve, basically. Limited supply, so helpful to limit a supply. Jackpot, competition and drawing. So all that means is, if there's something that people want and then you're not guaranteeing they'll get it, the uncertainty can be exciting for people. That's why people go to Vegas, because they're kind of gambling on it. So people love to compete. They love to do a drawing. They love to see if they're going to win. Sometimes they're more excited about winning than actually getting what it is that they're going to win. So nothing wrong with doing that to get the excitement going. Make sure that they know what's going on. In other words, you got to repeat the warnings. If there is a limited supply or time limits or a competition or drawings, you can't just let them know once sheepishly, just, oh, hey, by the way, only have 10. You got to tell them like 3 or 4 times, because people don't read every word of your emails. They don't read every blog post. They may not see that the first time. So you got to tell them, and then tell them again. And then finally, this is just a great attitude to have in order to increase conversion and get people a little bit under pressure to get your stuff, which is called be unavailable, be reluctant. Now, I know this totally goes against what you'd probably expect you should do as a good coach, service person, or business owner. You'd expect, well, gosh, if people call me, I should always call them back immediately. Emails, I got to return them within 10 minutes. Make sure that I'm always available. Make sure that I'm really responsive, and then I'm going to get a lot of sales, and everybody's going to want to work with me. Well, it's actually many times in many markets, not always, but many times, it's the opposite. The more available you are, the less interested people are. It's just weird like that. When you're always available, people kind of get a sense that maybe they're hungry. Maybe they're really not that good because they're always like running around trying to talk to me. You want to give them a sense that people used to call it the velvet rope philosophy. So for instance, when there's a club that everybody wants to get into, there's a little velvet rope outside the club. And people have to go inside the velvet rope, and they got to get on the waiting list, and there's a line for people waiting to get in. There's a sense that it's like, well, maybe I won't get in. I can't just run into that club. I've got to kind of wait outside and see if they're going to have enough slots available. So being a little unavailable, being a little reluctant to offer what you're offering helps people to value it. It helps people to be like, hey, this must be valuable because this person doesn't even want to give it to me. Even if it's a little fake, it's like that's okay. You're helping your client to get excited about what it is that you're excited to give to them. Don't be too excited on your end. It's kind of like being a good poker player, basically. You got to do a little bit of that so you can offer the value. So we're going to now move on from increasing conversion to increasing frequency of offers. This is the third key to get more customers online. So how do you do it? How do you increase frequency of offer? Now, what is that exactly? All frequency of offer is, again, is how many different offers you're offering to people and how frequently you're offering those offers. So what does ABC mean? ABC means always be campaigning. I got that from Brendan Burchard, great internet marketer, and he's not, like, ABC used to mean always be closing. It was old sales philosophy, like you're always going for the sale, you're always trying to get somebody to buy, right? Well, nowadays, people that turns their stomach a little bit. People get nauseated when they realize that you're always trying to sell them something. So instead, be campaigning. Campaigning's a lot more fun, and people are a lot more excited about it, and it's not so pushy. Campaigning just means that you're always sending an email out, you're always tweeting, you're always, opening up a new offer, a new program. There's always something cool that you're pulling out there, and you're offering to people. That's all it means. So always be campaigning. You just always want to have something that's out there that you're about to offer. My favorite personally is online launches. That's just another form of campaign. A launch is basically just like if Dave Matthews was coming to town, like the band, right? Dave Matthews Band, fairly popular band. When they come to town, they don't just show up in town one day and say, okay, tickets, we're about to play. It's like months and months ahead of time. Ticketmaster is sending out, email drops. They've got a website up. They've got all the radio stations are announcing, hey, Deb Matthews is coming to town, blah blah blah. The tickets are about to open up like a week from now. They do launches. That's a campaign. It's exciting. It's interesting, and it's a launch form. So they're not trying to push you to buy it. Somebody doesn't call you and say, hey, you got to buy these tickets because it's going to be really great. It's just the disc jockey at the local station saying, hey, they're going to be playing at this point, and the tickets are going on sale at this point. Just want to let you know. That's a really neat way to have people excited about what you're offering. Use a sales team. You can hire salespeople nowadays, especially. There's less people employed. The people that are in sales are they're having the hardest time, actually, many of them in many industries. So they're looking for something to sell. Have them sell your stuff. Give them a nice big commission, and have them contact your people. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I've definitely done that in the past. Create new products, new services, and new programs. Always be creating something new. This is probably the most fun part of marketing for me, is creating the stuff, because I'm excited and obsessed about that, not the marketing part. But whatever it is, if you create the next best thing, that's a great way to increase your frequency of offers. Sell other people's stuff. If there's something else that somebody else created that you think would be valuable for your audience or your followers, well, sell that. You can get a commission on that. You could be the salesperson on that end, and you don't have to create anything on that end. Make sure everything you offer is valuable. This is the most important key, because a lot of the problem that comes up with increasing frequency of offer, always out there marketing, is that people think, well, I'm being overly promotive, or I'm chasing down my audience, and they're like, oh, could you just stop selling me for 1 minute? Look, people want you to sell them stuff. They want to buy your stuff if it's good, if it's cool. If it's not cool, then they want you to go away. So just make sure that every single launch you do, every time you go out there and you offer something to your market, that it's like the coolest thing in the world. As long as you make sure that it's valuable, then you're not going to have that kind of problem with your list or with your followers or with your database. Hide offers in content. That means if you do a blog post, maybe there's an offer in there. If you do a video, maybe there's an offer in there. Right? So hide your offers in your content. It's a great way to help people and make money yourself at the same time. It's a great way to convert. Now let's move on to the second area, how to make more money per sale. And we talked about getting more customers now, or increasing the number of people that buy your stuff. Now let's talk about, okay, when they buy, how do you actually, bring in more money every time somebody buys, specifically online. So here are the 5 keys to making more money per sale online. First of all, charge more. And again, that's one of those duh type of things. Just raise your price. Most people are not charging enough, especially coaches, because they really want to be nice. They really want to help people, and one way to help people is help them keep more of their money, right? So just remember that you don't help people get rich by being poor. And you don't help people that are poor by being poor yourself. You've got to transform the money part of your mindset in order to charge more. And when you do that and you charge more, you can also help more people monetarily. So don't be afraid to charge what you're really worth, and charge plenty, and probably increase your prices at least by 20 to 50% right now is probably a good place to start. By the way, people will value your stuff more when you charge more. And when they value your stuff more, they're going to use it more, and they'll get more results. So especially in the world of coaching, the more you charge, the more value you're actually giving. Why? It's just part of psychology. People value things more and get more from things that they, actually spend a little bit more money on. You can set up payment programs. If you're charging more and yet people have trouble then paying that amount, you can set up a program. Well, you can pay over 3 months instead of pay everything now. It's not that hard to do, and many times you can be ahead of the game by setting up payment programs. Add more value. In other words, when you charge more, don't be afraid to give more bonuses or create a better program or something like that. That can help you make more money per sale. Create exclusivity. When something's exclusive, people are willing to pay more. So say, hey, I only have 20 slots open for this particular training program, something like that. I remember last time we did our big coaches training, we actually only had 20 slots open. I just decided I was only going to open 20 slots, and I think we had 20 people in the training exactly, and we were basically sold out. And I think we let like one more person into our on-site training, so it ended up being 21 in the actual on-site training in La Jolla. So create some exclusivity. That's very helpful for people appreciating and understanding the value of what it is that they get, and they feel really special then because they're getting something that's only for them, that's very special for them. It's very exclusive. Kind of along the same lines, create a platinum level and other more expensive options or add-ons. When you have a big enough client list and you create a really high level platinum level program, basically, you'll always have a small percentage of your client list that will want the platinum level, even if it's not more valuable, just because some people just on principle want to buy the most expensive thing. So don't be afraid to do that. And at the same time, add more value when you do it. I mean, you just really want to kick butt for your platinum people, the people that are spending, 3 times what anybody else is spending. Just do everything you can to take care of them, and also, you're going to get your money's worth out of them as well, and hopefully they'll get their money's worth out of you. Finally, how to get more customers to buy more often. So once you got more customers, how do you get them to come back again and again and again to buy more often? Online again. 5 keys we're going to talk about here for getting more customers to buy more often. First of all, create a community. If you have a community that you create online, a community of people masterminding together and working together, discussing things together in a forum or a social network or whatever, then they will come back again and again and again just because they're a part of that community. They want to hang out with people like them. Do a program of the month. So if you, again, weight loss, you could have the diet of the month, or maybe you don't want somebody on a different diet every month, but you get the idea, right? A technique, a weight loss technique of the month or something like that. And that's a continuity program. People will come, and every single month they'll buy that because they're in the program to do so. And so every month, wham, they're making another payment to you. Create advanced level programs or courses. Advanced level programs can be awesome, and that just means that you can create, like, for instance, if you give a weight loss program for how to lose weight quickly, maybe the next advanced level program is how to create a lifestyle where they keep the weight off. Or after that program, maybe it's the how to tone your body now and get to that optimum level of health, right? Or that optimum level of sexiness or whatever, right? You get the idea. There's so many different things you can offer in the world of weight loss. It's not just here's the weight loss program. It's the advanced and the platinum level and the exclusive memberships and all that kind of stuff. So this is one of the really valuable things you can do to get somebody to, once they've done your basic program, well, now you got to get really advanced, and a lot of people want to do the advanced level program on principle as well. Add another medium of delivery. So for instance, if you do an on-site training, maybe you need to tape that training and do an audio version of that training, or you need to do an online version of that training. So many different mediums of delivery nowadays. And sometimes somebody who's did one medium of delivery, they're going to want the other one just because they want to see you on a video now rather than just listening to you in an audio form. And finally, use events to collect. What that means is that if somebody's involved in an event, an on-site event, something that's they have to come to see you in a training room or something like that, that's a great place to actually give them the next level, give them the advanced level, have them sold on something new, on the best thing that you've got now, or your continuity program, whatever it is. So use events as a vehicle where people are all together and they're really excited, and people want to walk away from your event with they want to have a souvenir. When you're on vacation, don't you want to get something to bring home? Well, it's just like that on an event. An event is like a vacation for people to a certain extent. They're vacationing while they're learning or whatever. Justifiable vacation, basically. And so they're going to want to bring something home, and you can help them make that decision to bring something that you offer them home that will get them to buy more often, as it says here. What are the dummy favorites? continuity, advanced level programs, and then events to collect. So let's talk about these. So we're going to start with the continuity programs, or the of the month programs. So here's some keys to continuity. First of all, pick a medium. Pick an area where you're going to do this monthly thing. So it could be a CD of the month, could be a DVD of the month, it could be an online, just the online video of the month or whatever. Online's getting really easy to offer your continuity program. Match the monthly fee to the value you're going to be able to offer. So you really got to get a sense of what the value is, because if you do a continuity program and you're charging, let's say, $200 a month, and all you give them is an audio CD every month, I don't know. I mean, that better be a pretty valuable audio CD. But if you charge people $200 a month and you're giving them like 3 or 4 videos every month and a couple webinars and maybe some coaching, one-on-one and group coaching along with that, wow, that's pretty valuable. That's a really good deal. So make sure that you work out what the fee is and you talk to your prospects about this, what they think is fair. A lot of times they'll be very straight with you about that. Get a 12-month written commitment in higher end programs. So a lower end one where it's just a $20 CD of the month, okay, maybe just leave it open and they can cancel at any time. But if you're talking about a higher end program that's really going to cost you money and time and sweat equity to put in and to really help people, then ask for a 12-month commitment, and really hold them to that commitment, because if you're going to go out of your way to spend a whole year creating awesome stuff every single month for people, you owe it to yourself and people owe it to you to really stick around long enough for you to be able to kind of afford the value that you're giving to people as well, because it really takes a lot to do some of these programs sometimes. Use a monthly fee or a really good cash discount, meaning that if they're in like a 12-month program and you offer a monthly fee of, let's say, $50 a month, maybe if they're going to pay up front for 12 months, maybe only charge them $275. So it's almost half price for paying in full up front. And a lot of people are just going to want to do that as a result. The people that pay $50 a month, you're going to do okay with them, even if they run out of money after a couple months. And the people that are paying $250, you get all the money up front. You don't have to worry about them making a payment and whether or not their credit card is going to go through or whatever. And by the way, this isn't in the bullets, but make sure you get a merchant account with this. You don't want to wait for checks every month. It ain't going to happen. Okay? All right, great. Let's continue. Now we're going to move on from continuity to creating the advanced level program or course, getting people to buy more often here. So here are the keys to advanced programs. First of all, what's left to teach? Just ask that question. Once you've taught whatever you've taught, now ask yourself what's next, or what's left to teach these individuals. What might they want? And maybe even ask them. And they'll help you create your advanced program. Find missing links or areas that you've already taught that need more work or more detail. So if you taught how to lose weight, but there are some like really key psychology pieces to losing weight, maybe you create a psychology of losing weight program. That sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? Well, the people that have already taken your basic losing weight program, they're probably going to want that psychology of losing weight program. They're probably going to just take a really big bite out of that apple, right? What's the next level for your clients? So if they're at a certain level of weight loss, let's say, or health, what's the higher level? Some percentage of the individuals that went through your basic program are going to want the next level. So just find out what it is and give it to them. Offer more rigor, more intimacy, more depth or detail, more time, more access, etc. So these are just different ways that you can advance your program. So you could offer the same basic program, but more rigorous. So let's say you create like a CD program that's all about how to lose weight. But then let's say the next advanced level program is, instead of just audio CDs, you're going to give them a boot camp level accountability program. And it's like 8 weeks or 8 months of really rigorous weekly accountability where they're going to use the things that they learned. It's the same exact content, the same exact information, but now you're kicking their butt. Now you're their drill sergeant, right? Some people are going to pay for that. Some people want that. Some people need that. So offer it. That's your advanced program. More intimacy. That could be the same program as where you spend more time with them one-on-one, something like that. More depth or detail, where you get more information for the advanced program that you're going to get into. More time. It's a longer program, or more time per day, or whatever. More audio CDs, let's say. More access. That could mean more access to you. Instead of just being in a training, they actually get one-on-one coaching with you or get group coaching with you on a more regular basis, something like that. Next, from the advanced level, we're going to move on to using events to collect? How do you use events to collect? Here's some keys to using an actual seminar, like an event that you get people to come to collect on, the next thing that somebody's going to buy from you. First of all, give them the best experience you possibly can. I mean, you really got to kick butt in an event, and so do your best. It doesn't mean don't do an event if you don't think you're going to do awesome. Just make sure when you do it, you do the best you can. You can always get better, but give them the best experience you possibly can for the moment in time that you're in. Get testimonials on video. If you got a video camera, lug it to the event, set it up, and every day at the end of the event day, ask people to give testimonials, and if they're really rocking and rolling at that point, people will be excited to offer you testimonials at that point. Offer great discounts and exclusive offers only during the event. So this is the exclusivity piece. You're basically saying, okay, you came to the event, and it's really important that you came, and I really want to reward you for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you what I normally offer for $1,000. I'm going to give it to you for $500. Give them a great discount. You still want to make money on these things, but give them a really good discount. I mean, really take care of them because they came to the event, and they'll be much more excited to buy the thing that you're offering them if you give them a really cool discount, or just an exclusive offer, something that's just like extra special for them only. If you do something like that, they're really going to appreciate it, and they're going to buy it as a result. Educate them on what they need to know in order for them to become a hungry buyer, and then pitch them. So for instance, if you got a 2-day event, the first day, don't pitch them, don't try to sell anything the first day, just teach them the philosophies that somebody would need to have in order to be somebody who would be interested in what you're going to sell them. So let me give you an example. If, again, let's take weight loss as a great example. So you are offering weight loss coaching, and you're offering like a $100 seminar, 2 days on how to lose weight. They come to your event. This is the first time they've ever seen you, or the second time they've ever worked with you, or something like that. And what you really need to offer them is an accountability program, because you know that most people, even though they know everything about losing weight, they still don't lose weight because they're just not accountable. They just don't follow through. They don't take the action, and accountability is the key. So what would you do the first day? Well, pretty simple. You want to make sure that one part of that first day is where you teach them how important accountability is to weight loss, and give them a whole hour of content about how they can hold themselves accountable, and what accountability is, how it works, why use it, examples of people that use accountability and are successful with losing weight, examples of people that don't use accountability and why they get fatter and fatter, or whatever, right? So once you've taught them that, now the second day you can just say, hey, remember how I taught you that accountability is really key? It's like the secret to success in weight loss. Well, guess what? I just created this new program. It's exclusive for you. That's $1,000. That's a 6 months accountability program where every single week you'll have me as your accountability coach working with you to make sure you're losing weight. And obviously you know how important this is. So it's a $1,000 program, and I'm going to offer it to you only today for $500. Now, that might be an exaggerated example. I might not do that, especially if it's one-on-one coaching, maybe a group coaching program, but not one-on-one. But the point is, you're giving a great exclusive offer, a great discount, you're giving the best experience already, and they already understand why they should buy it because you taught them why the day before. Then it's easy to sell them something. You don't have to kind of be some kind of manipulative pitch man at that point. They understand. The reason why most people don't buy coaching is because people don't get what they're going to get. They don't understand. You got to educate your buyer. Once they're educated, now they're going to buy all your stuff because they get it now. Finally, invite people from all your programs to one event. So if you have the accountability program and you have the 1 month sample program, your free sessions, and they bought your audio or whatever, they all should be able to go to your event. Somehow, some way, some shape or form, they should get to that event. Why? Because they'll sell each other. The people in your accountability program will sell your accountability program to the people who did your audio program. The people who did your audio program will sell the audio program to the people that did your free session or your 1 month event. Because they're going to brag about what they do. They're going to say, oh, you only got the audio? Well, I'm in the 8-month accountability program, and let me tell you about that and how great it is and everything. You should really do it. I mean, when somebody is selling your stuff for you, it gets really easy. And now, how do you get people to do that? Well, you got to offer really good stuff, obviously. But once you've done that, and you get them together in an event, they'll all talk to each other, and it makes it so much easier for you to move people forward. So, this is my little call to action for you, called Dummies Unite. If you ever felt like an internet dummy, if you ever felt like, you couldn't really sell on the internet, or you couldn't really market using the internet, or you just didn't really get the technical part, or you just weren't motivated to do it, or whatever, you just, any one of those things that I shared at the beginning of this conversation, like you really felt like one of those totally pegged you, like, yep, that's me. Well, you're a special kind of person, and that means that you probably really care about people. You're probably a genius in your own right, in your own area. You're just like reticent to use the internet. So we really got to bring ourselves together. We got to support ourselves and each other, whether it be accountability or information or whatever. And you got to know, and you got to start to believe that you can do this. You got to decide that for yourself, because if you don't think you can do it, of course you're going to stay an internet dummy. And look, you'll be a great person, but you just may not get a lot of clients because you're running around chasing after them, and you're just not doing business on the internet. So you got to believe you can do this. You also got to believe you must do this, because even if you know you can, like, oh yeah, that's nice, then you'll just have hope about the future. You got to turn hope into action, and the way to do it is believing that it's not just a should. You just don't just should all over yourselves, as Tony Robbins, my mentor, used to say, but you make it you change your should into a must. You say, I must do this. I must market online. I must learn this stuff. It's a must, and you got to know why it's a must. Then beyond that, you got to believe that the time is now. You got to decide, okay, not only must I do this, but I must do it right now. I got to get started immediately on this. It can be fun. You don't have to believe it can be fun. Some people will do stuff whether it's fun or not, but some people won't. Some people are like, hey, if it's not fun, I ain't going to do it. So, you can make this fun. It can be a lot of fun. There are some frustrations involved, no doubt about it, but you can get through those, and at the end of that, it really is a lot of fun to be able to do this kind of stuff. And I hope you join me in this kind of dummy revolution, I guess. I hate to call it that as well, but you get the idea. And then finally, the world needs you. It's not just people at the Chamber of Commerce. It's not just the people that you meet at the grocery store. It's not just the people that you're cold calling. The world needs you. And if you're going to reach the world, or they're going to be able to find you, you got to use the internet for that. It's a world market now. We coach people in every continent in the world. We work with people in Africa, people in India, people in Asia, people in South America, and people in Europe. The reason that we've been able to do that is because we work on the internet, and you can really reach the world by using the internet. So that was a little bit about how to make money as an online coach, even if, at least at this point, you're an internet dummy. Look forward to talking to you soon.